Well,
Sad.
cue the music, cue the lights on Jacksonville's fifth best YouTube channel, Jaggin Out, with my son Tristan. Say hi, buddy.
Hi, Dad.
He's got long surfer hair like Trevor Lawrence. What do you think about the Jags today losing?
Lose from Dribble.
Are you sad?
No, I'm happy.
Tristan! Well, I'm sad. This was a disappointing end to a very amazing season. You're happy? Oh, and I'm getting... This is a very disappointing end to a great season. I'm not going to talk a lot of crap here. All these players deserve a pat on the back. Thank you, Liam Cohen, for the coaching job you did this year. Thank you, Trevor Lawrence, for stepping up your game as a quarterback and leading this team to the playoffs. Thank you, everyone on offense, particularly Parker Washington. You played out of your mind this year. Thank you, Jacoby Myers, for coming over from the bum-ass Raiders to the Jaguars. You found a home. Thank you, Brenton Strange. Thank you, offensive line, everyone but Walker Little. Thank you, buddy. And special thanks to Travis Etienne. It was my very first Jaguars jersey, was a Travis Etienne jersey. I'm not sure if he'll be back next year, but he had a hell of a year. And even I'm going to give a special thank you to you, Mr. Brian Thomas Jr., for catching the ball consistently today and scoring a touchdown and making me put my foot in my mouth. I was at the game today. It was a very disappointing end to a very good season. If you were there after the game, my God, it looked like a picture from the 1920s when the Great Depression was going on, and if a plague had happened, and then fast forward about 20 years and World War II just kicked off. It was a sad scene down there. Everyone was sad that our Jaguars lost. I'm not going to get too upset. I was really pissed off. Honestly, that stadium was rocking. And I will admit, I usually pretty good when there's a ton of people around me. That place is not for the faint of heart if you're claustrophobic, because it was people on top of people on top of people there. It was loud. It was rocking. You couldn't move in the hallways in that place. There needs to be some serious reconstruction, which there is going to be. They need to make the hallways way bigger in that place, because I was trying to get to my seat before the game. It took me about 15 minutes to get about 20 feet because it was so packed in there. You can't move, so that was a little disappointing. A lot of Bills fans there. They're good people. I hope you guys go far in the playoffs. Also, I didn't want to leave out the defense. Special thanks to you guys. Defensive line, you let me down a little bit today, but Josh Hines-Allen, Trayvon Walker, even you, Eric Armstead, you bum. All the linebackers, Foye Luakon, Devin Lloyd, the list goes on. Gardak, he had a great year, the free agent that we signed. Our linebacking core, they're pretty solid. The defensive backs had their struggles today, but we have a lot of guys that are out. Mr. Jarian Jones, he had a great season. Hats off to you, Jarian Jones. And the rest of the squad that's back there. I'm drawing a blank. Antonio Johnson, he had a great year back there. Donnie Newsome, pickup was a little bit of a miss by Mr. Liam Cohen, but thanks for stopping in and collecting a paycheck from the Browns and blowing coverage this game. He won't be on the Jags next year, so I'm not going to really show him a lot of love. But thank you, the defense. Monteric Brown, another guy that had a very honorable season. Overall, I don't know what to say. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I said I wasn't going to be. It's just very disappointing for a team that won 13 games and an 8-game winning streak to go to the playoffs and lose at home when you had every opportunity to win this game, which I'll get into here in a second. This is what I'm dealing with. This is what Jaggin Out, Jacksonville's fifth best, not one, not two, not three. Number fifth best. I can't even talk. That's for you, Texans and Titans fans. I still hate you. Bills fans, you're okay. I hope you win the Super Bowl. You have an incredible quarterback and very nice people. This is what I'm working with. This is what I'm working with here, and we're doing the show around it, but oh man, where do I begin when I'm talking about this game? You Jags don't have anything to be upset about. Thank you for the good memories this season. It just ended too soon. I really won one playoff win. Our 2002 team, which isn't nearly as good as this team, ended up getting one playoff win. So it just seems unjustified that this team couldn't beat the Bills at home. Congrats to the Bills, though. I'll first start on them. The Bills have a good team, but the Bills sure as hell aren't going to win the Super Bowl. I mean, they were hanging on by dear life against the Jags, who no one respects. I guess that's for a reason. We couldn't win a playoff game, but you're going to play tougher teams than the Jags, and you got extremely lucky today. Josh Allen fully bailed you guys out. I wasn't super impressed. You guys have an okay running game. Your defense, Trevor Lawrence made a bad decision in the first half and got a turnover. We also made some questionable calls, like going forward on fourth down and missing field goals. We sure as hell could have won this game, but I'm not overly impressed with the Bills. Great fans. It was nice talking to y'all. Have a safe flight back to Buffalo. Don't ever come here again because it surely will make me sad. Go enjoy your buffalo wings. These people are also crazy. It was like a frosty 57 degrees out there, 56. I was in full pants and a hoodie. These people were in shorts acting like it's the summer. I couldn't imagine living up there in Buffalo. That has to be depressing as hell, going outside in that type of weather. I would not go outside. It's just crazy. They were acting like it was summer vacation, and they certainly got their way. They won the game. Hats off to you. Enjoy our city for a day and go back to your miserable lives in Buffalo. That's enough said about them. This game, in my opinion, was lost for 3 reasons today. 3 big reasons on the 5th best show in Jacksonville. And I'll kind of go in order with this one. I feel like starting off, the biggest misstep was after the turnover we got. We had all the momentum. It was a fumble on their kick return. LaQuint Allen, who's our 3rd string running back, made a great play and either made the tackle or recovered the fumble. I couldn't tell. I was in nosebleeds. I was close to the top. The game actually made me kind of physically ill just because of how stuffed it was in there and just the high altitude I was sitting at. But LaQuint Allen makes an awesome play, and we can go up against these bums. I think the score at the time was like, what was it? It was like 3-7, or maybe it was they had 7, we had 3. I can't remember, but we had a chance to go ahead before the half, get some points, and we drive the ball down, and it's a 4th and 2 within their 15-yard line. And Mr. Liam Cohen, I never would talk bad about you. You're an excellent coach, better at your job than I could ever be at my job. But this man always goes for it on 4th and short when we're within 10, 15 yards of the end zone. We never take the field goal, and we hardly ever convert. It's just we go for it. We do some stupid rollout with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a dynamic runner when it's like a scramble or like no one's expecting him to run. But when it's like a 4th down and you need it like a 4th and 1, 4th and 2, he's not really your guy. He's not built for that. We don't do the tush push, and he's not built like a mongoloid like Josh Allen is. Like, that's not his game. And of course we go for it, and we got it. And then, I don't know, I was watching the game from a mile up in the air because I was close to the top of the stadium with my lovely wife. Shout out for going to all these games with me. And it was stressful. I'm not going to lie. When they're bad, it's kind of just casual watching there, and they're usually bad. But when they're actually good, it's kind of stressful because you have expectations being there. But we went for this 4th and 2, and we the refs originally called it good. And then it got called back, and they did like a video review, and then they challenged. It took forever, and we got called back, whatever, but it killed the momentum. Like, we didn't get any points out of that, like nothing. And of course, as soon as we turn the ball over on downs, the Bills go and drive all the way down and score on us. And then I think they made the game. It was 10-7 at that point. We could have went up by 14, or we could have got to 10 points at least. But we got no points. The Bills got the ball back, went like 85, 90 yards down, typical fashion, and scored a touchdown. And then the game is 10-7 to the Bills. We get the ball back before the half's about to end. We had like a minute left with no timeouts. And of course, Jags fans are ripping on our quarterback already, Trevor Lawrence. All these people that are ripping on Trevor Lawrence, I'll get into him in a second, should put their foot in their fucking mouths. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Trevor Lawrence. He had a pretty darn good game. He kept us in it. I'll get into that in the second half. But then we had a chance to kick a field goal because Trevor Lawrence made a great throw. And so this brings me to the second reason why we lost this. We left points because of the turnover on downs. But then our kicker, Cam Little, who's usually money, but has been money all year, kicking these ridiculously long field goals. It's a decently long field goal, a 54-yarder. He misses it. I mean, it happens. It wasn't a particularly windy day in Jacksonville. The conditions were fine. It just went to the right a little bit. It was hard to tell. I thought he made it being at the stadium, but he misses it. So that's like 6 to 10 points we left off the board in the first half. So we were trailing 10-7 going into the second half. Nothing went our way really in the first half. It was not a good watch. And then this gets to my big reason, and the number one reason why we lost this game, and it's pretty simple, is our defense could not get any pass rush on Josh Allen. I was up there, I could see the whole field, and I was watching Josh Allen sitting back there, smoking a red, having a cowboy killer, scanning the field, just being comfortable as hell. Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen didn't get back there all day. Josh Hines-Allen had 1 sack. These guys just weren't particularly great at pass rushing this year. Josh Allen's was our leader this year with 9 sacks. The guys are supposed to be our franchise player as a defensive end. He's supposed to be our leader. He had 17.5 sacks a couple years ago, and he got his contract, and he's kind of been a no-show since then. I know he's went through some personal stuff with this kid, and I wish you the best of health and your family the best of health, Josh Hines-Allen. You're a great dude and a great person, but man, I just hope you come back next year just super motivated and we get some pressure and some sacks back there. I guess he has a high pressure rate. I didn't see that today. Josh Allen, who's arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, looked extremely comfortable back there. And when you're playing against the best quarterback in the NFL, he's Josh Allen's the best, you have to get him out of his rhythm a little bit. Even when he was getting outside the pocket, we were chasing him, and he was still getting 4 or 5 yards. We couldn't get any pressure, and we couldn't stop them on third down. I think the biggest knock was the defensive line. We couldn't get any pressure. It was tough. Those are the 3 big reasons why I think we lost this game. That turnover of downs, going for it on 4th and 2. I know Liam Cohen, he's going to look like a genius if he gets it. He's going to get shit on if he doesn't. That's why he's the head coach of a football team, because he has to live with those consequences. I think in a game like this, playing the Bills, you just take the points. That was a chip shot, He just, whatever. If we keep doing that next year, going for 4th and short within 15 yards from the goal line, great. We can keep doing that, but let's think of a play to actually have instead of Trevor Lawrence sneaking it up the middle or Trevor Lawrence sneaking it to the left. Let's think of something creative, anything. I'd rather hand it off to the running back and test our luck there or throw it than what we've been doing on these fourth down calls. And then missing that field goal. Cam Little, you're a stud. You're going to be our franchise kicker for a long time. That was just a killer. We left so many points off the board in the first half, and everyone knows the Bills are a comeback team. We could have been up in that game 14. We could have had 14 points. We could have had 17 points. We could have had a lot more. It's just tough. It's a tough look. It was a tough day out there. And then lastly, our defensive line just didn't get to Josh Allen. But those are the main reasons why I think we lost. And now I'm going to talk about Trevor Lawrence just for a second. I got water here tonight. I didn't even drink that much today because it was just too damn nerve-wracking at that game with expectations and hoping to win. Cheers to the season, guys. Now, Trevor Lawrence, people already, message boards, Texans fans, I expect them to shit on him. Of course, they'll look at the stat line and see the 2 INTs. He had 1 really bad pass in the first half. And then on the final drive of the game where we hardly had any time, the ball got tipped and intercepted. That happens when the ball gets tipped. But for the love of God, our own fans need to quit with this Trevor Lawrence hate. This is our quarterback. He's with us for the long haul. I can see him being the quarterback for the next 10 years on this team. He's only 26 years old, and he finally has a competent coach. I'm not going to get into what happened with Trevor Lawrence through his career. He had a bum with Urban Meyer that was grabbing ass in an Ohio bar, kicking our kicker, Lambeau, got his ass fired. He was with Doug, who had the least creative offense in the NFL, and refused to fire Press Taylor, who actually was a bum himself too. We finally got a competent coach. Trevor Lawrence gave us every opportunity to win this game. He got us up. We were down against the Bills. He got us up in the fourth quarter. Of course, Bills get the ball back. They once again score. They go up. And then Trevor Lawrence throws another touchdown, his third, to give us the lead with 4 minutes left. All you have to do to win this game, we have a 4-point lead, is to stop Josh Allen and the Bills from scoring. That's it. If they can't do that, then, why do we have a defense? We were going to blame Trevor Lawrence for the defense letting Josh Allen consistently score in the third and fourth quarter every time we go ahead in the game. It's just tough. And then, of course, people are expecting Trevor Lawrence to work some miracles and get us down the field in field goal range, and the ball gets tipped. This is football. That shit happens, and it got intercepted. So, y'all just give Trevor Lawrence a break. He had a great year with some actual competent coaches. Let's see what happens next year. I think the sky's the limit for the guy, honestly. He was playing out of his mind towards the end of this season, and I think he had a pretty good day today for the most part. That's just crazy talk, saying because he threw those 2 picks, we lost the game. No, we lost the game because we let too many damn points off the scoreboard in the first half, and then we couldn't stop Josh Allen. That's why we lost this game. Trevor Lawrence may have contributed to the loss, but it's very minuscule to that other stuff, in my humble opinion. So Jags fans, cool with the Trevor Lawrence crap. I can't take much more of that. Not much more of that. He's your quarterback. Show some respect. We wouldn't even be in the playoffs unless it was because of him. He's the Jacksonville Jesus and always will be. I have a feeling we're going to make a deeper run next year. That's the game in a nutshell. There's some bright spots to this team. I'll just say the major bright spot going into next year, in my opinion, is Trevor Lawrence and then Mr. Parker Washington. Sign that guy. Get that guy signed. I know he has another year on his contract. I wouldn't even make him prove it. This guy's going to get a lot of offers if he goes into free agency. Sign that guy. He's our best player on offense, and it's not even close. He's so dynamic when he gets the ball. BTJ, he still has potential, but Parker Washington's our number 1 guy, and he's really our deep threat right now, and he catches the ball, and he's great after the catch. He scored a touchdown today. The last 4 games I heard on the radio, he had something like 450 yards receiving in the last 4 to 5 games. I think it's the last 4 games. He's had 450 yards receiving, and his low game was 87 yards with a touchdown. He's just been absolutely cooking. Don't let him, go into free agency. Don't let him, escape this team. We need him. Sorry, someone was texting me, and probably a Texans fan. Actually, it was just pissing me off. Don't let him go into free agency and sign with someone else and be great. Keep him around. There's also a lot of question marks with the team. Those are the bright spots. What are we going to do at running back? I'm going to get into a full-length video with this. ETN, if you stay, which I hope he does, I think he's a great running back, but I could see some team throwing a huge offer with him at free agency. I would not tie up a ton of money into a running back. Those guys are very injury-prone. So from the bottom of my heart, Mr. Travis Etienne, my very first Jaguars jersey I ever got was Travis Etienne. Thank you for everything you've done in Jacksonville. Thank you for being a great running back. And I hope he stays with Trevor Lawrence. He's got a good 3 or 4 more years left in those wheels, and he had a great season. And he's proven to be a very good running back when he's healthy. But if a monster offer comes to him, by all means, Travis Etienne, you've earned that. You deserve that, to have that for your family and your future. Take it and run. We have Bashal Tutin, who shows a lot of potential. Those two had a great day, too, as well. I don't know why the hell we didn't run the ball more. We only had 14 touches rushing the ball, and we had over 100 yards rushing. The Bills' defense is terrible at stopping the run. They will go up against a team in the playoffs that has a better running back than ETN, and they're going to run the ball down their goddamn throats. I don't know why we didn't do that today. There's so many whys. I'll get into a full-length video with analysis about this, but this is just me ranting my initial thoughts. My other thoughts I have after this game and question marks is, what are we going to do about this defensive line? Because for so long, I mean, we were great at stopping the run this year. Hats off to those guys. Trayvon Walker does a great job stopping the run. Eric Armstead, I'm sure, is in there doing a great job stopping the run. Josh Hines-Allen contributes to that, but where the hell is this pass rush? We've had the same conversation every year with this team for the past 3 to 4 years. Where's the pass rush? Where's the pass rush? We just don't get pressure on good teams with good quarterbacks, they just get stuffed, and that was readily apparent today. I don't know if we have to bring in someone like a fast twitch guy. Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker aren't those guys. If you watch them, they don't do crazy moves like Aiden Hutchinson or another fast twitchy defensive end. They're just like a bull rush guy, and which they do a damn good job at that. But this team is potentially a really good high caliber playoff team each year and every year, but we are only going to go further if we have a consistent pass rush to get good quarterbacks off their game and get some pressure on them, get some sacks, because that didn't happen today. We only had our top guy had 9 sacks. That's not going to cut it. Some of the better teams in the NFL, I'm sure they have guys that have 15, 20 sacks. I mean, Myles Garrett, that guy's a freak. We're not going to get a guy like that breaking the sack record, but we need, whether it's Josh Hines Allen to have another explosive year. He seems to do it like every 2 to 3 years. Have one outstanding year. He had his rookie year where he was outstanding. Then it didn't happen until like 2022, 23, where he had his 17.5 sack year, and then he got paid, and he's been pretty average since then. I don't know what the answer is. We don't have a first round pick, but we need someone in there to like shore up this pass rush. And if we don't fix the pass rush, that leaves a lot of question marks to, do we have a competent defensive backs and secondary to compensate for that, to cover all these guys because we can't get to the quarterback and they have so much time to throw. We had a lot of guys injured in the secondary. It sure as hell is going to be nice to have Travis Hunter back full time in a Jaguars uniform. Let me get another sip of my water. Cheers, guys. Tough loss, but still the AFC South champions, no matter what. I sure as hell hope the Texans lose their game against the Steelers. Please shit down their throats, Aaron Rodgers. I hate those people and I hate their team. But defensive backs, it's going to be really nice to have Travis Hunter back. We were basically playing all this season without our number 1 or number 2 overall draft pick in Travis Hunter, and it's not even a question anymore with the emergence of Parker Washington and having Jacoby Meyer and still having BTJ with a lot of potential and Brenton Strange. Those guys are all back next year. Thank God. We don't need Travis Hunter on offense. We don't need to experiment with him there. We can have him on offense like 4 or 5 plays. Let's not overload this kid and get him hurt again. He's a valuable possession, and we need that guy on defense. He looked great on defense. If he can stop one wide receiver, the best wide receiver on the other team, consistently each game, that's what we need. We need him. And then we have another draft pick that we drafted another corner. I don't remember his name, 3rd overall last year. Mention it in the comments if you are watching this video. My boy McIntyre, who watches these videos, shout out to you, seeing you at the game. Dude, you're a true Jaguars fan through and through. And you will always be welcome on my YouTube channel. But we drafted a guy in the 3rd round who's also a cornerback who didn't play the entire season. Getting those guys back, getting Jordan Lewis back, who I don't know if he'll be back, but he was a free agent that we signed who got hurt. We need to assure that, and those dudes, that end of the field up our secondary, especially if we can't get pass rush. Those are the main things I see going into the offseason that's really preventing this team from being great. But overall, that's about it for this video. Overall, we had a great season. Please give Trevor Lawrence a break. He kept us in this game. What more do you want for the guy? He gave us the fucking lead with 4 minutes. Just stop Josh Allen once in the second half and we win this game. Make a field goal. Stop going for 4th down so often. That's all I got to say. And to some of these guys, I'll just leave this. With some of these guys, I better not see them in Jacksonville next year. Walker Little, respect to you, dude, but take a hike. Man, you were terrible today. Cole, that would have helped us. Our starting left tackle, Cole Van Lanen, that dude's been playing solid, and he was hurt. He couldn't go. Walker Little was just, he stunk. He had like 2 false start penalties. He was like a revolving door. There was so much pressure on Trevor Lawrence running around back there. He's got pretty good in the pocket, but if you gave Trevor Lawrence the amount of time that Josh Allen had in the pocket, he would have had 4 or 5 touchdowns and 300 yards passing. So Walker Little, see you later. And Donnie Newsome, the guy that we signed from the Browns in the Tyson Campbell trade, he's not any better than Tyson Campbell. Tyson Campbell, I know that was mostly to get rid of Tyson Campbell's contract, but for the love of God, I wish those two dudes the best. Donnie Newsome, take a hike, dude. Like, you were getting burned by some bums. Shakir, Keon Coleman, whoever the hell they were. He just has not panned out here in Jacksonville. Anyways, let's shore up this defense. Good year. Good overall season. AFC South champions. I'll keep up this YouTube channel. I'm hoping for more followers. Please like and subscribe. I'll put out a full-length video describing this Buffalo Bills game in my typical fashion. We'll do some off-season content. I'm looking forward to that. I'm thinking about doing a video once a week, depending on my job and spending time with my kid, who you saw here earlier in this video. I'm also in school, most of the time working on my master's degree, so I got that going on top of this blooming YouTube channel with 26 subscribers. And we started from nothing, and I haven't even been hitting up people that I know to like and subscribe this stuff. So thank you for all that are watching. But we'll do some videos. We'll do some tier lists. We'll do some free agency videos. Any Jags news that comes out, I'll try to get it out to you guys. I appreciate everything. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We'll see you here soon. Go Jags, AFC South champions. Fuck you, Texans. Y'all suck. Your fans are losers. Except for a few guys that I know, 2 dudes that I've worked with. They're okay. But I hate you, Texans. I hope you lose your game. Go Steelers. This is Jaggin Out. The Jacksonville Jaguars' 5th best YouTube channel. And a disappointing loss to the Bills. I'm going to go cry now. See ya. Bye.